Hi guys, Squirrel here, and this is my first look at a game called BeamNG Drive. This is currently a game in alpha, and it's been developed by a couple of guys and an artist, I think, so it's a really kind of minimal set of developers, but what they've basically done is something quite extraordinary actually. This thing has soft body physics in it, and we'll go through that in a second. It is very basic at the moment in terms of its support for, particularly for controllers. But as you can see here, there's a sign that says, you know, we're working on it, and press F1, you can list all the controls, and the kind of things we're working at the moment, you know, more vehicles, murderous AI, which sounds really funny, and support for heavy machinery and other vehicles. This has piqued the trucker in me, support for heavy machinery, so I'm thinking along the lines of cranes and trucks and all kinds of other mad stuff. But like I say, it is a bit limited at the moment. Let's have a quick look. This is probably the quickest way of seeing what kind of physics we've got in this game. A 60-degree cliff, which is going to make the vehicle just tumble down the cliffside, and you'll see what happens when it does. The physics on this game is extraordinary. Look at the panels are ripping off, the chassis is getting bent out of shape, pieces are flying off it. It's hilarious. If you press Control E, you can choose a different vehicle if you want to. So you can choose one of these, and it'll just throw that down instead. Press Control R to reset the vehicle. We'll just reset it. There you go, brand new car. Unbelievable. You can see some of the textures on the floor when it does skid marks. Often get painted in a bright orange. It's just a texture thing at the moment. But that's just a quick sort of introduction to the kind of thing you can do in this game. What's more fun though is jumping into, for instance, the arena track here, which is effectively a dirt track in a big circle. Come on, come on, come on. And there we go. Right. The camera's a bit weird. You move it with the mouse, or you can use the numeric keypad. Now, if you press F1, you'll see what I mean. Currently you have to use the keyboard or an Xbox 360 controller. Now, I don't have an Xbox 360 controller. I was kind of hoping for a steering wheel at this point, but there doesn't appear to be any option to use a steering wheel or even a joystick. I can't quite understand that. I'm sure they're going to put that in the game, so for now I'm going to have to use the keyboard, which is a little bit troublesome to say the least. It's obviously very digital and very hard to control. But you can see some of the basic controls here. The cursor keys are the accelerate, brake and steer, so that's on your right hand, and then if you kind of move your left hand finger over the P for the parking brake, you can do some interesting parking brake turns. I resets your vehicle, C to go through your camera, so you can go, you know, inside the vehicle, on top of the bonnet, down the side, or just a kind of a free look, and then you can kind of pick and choose, but it tends to follow as you drive. So if you press forward on the arrow key, you'll see it kind of follows the vehicle as it goes along. You can use the mouse to look, but the mouse look is weird. It's almost inverted. Interestingly enough, what you can do, press Control W, you can bring up the entire part for the vehicle. Now this is quite hilarious. You can just go through all of the components, and you know, if you want to stick some sports rear tyres, let's get around the side there. Sports rear tyres on it. Look at that. You know. Just drop in where's the front wheel? Oh, steering wheel. Let's go for a racing wheel. Probably better see that if we got inside the vehicle. Like that. We can go for a racing wheel, or we can go for a normal steering wheel. Let's go outside again. Spare tyre. Do you want a spare tyre or not? We could have a spare tyre. You just go to town on these options. You can customise the vehicle. They are slightly limited, but you can, you know, obviously go for sports suspension or non-sport suspension, off-road rear differential. Yeah, let's have some of that. Why not? So we can have a sports rear wheel and then a normal front wheel, if you want to. It doesn't appear to limit you on this kind of thing. But let's go for a sporty front wheel as well. There we go. And let's just say we're done. Press F1 again, you get a whole buttload more of controls. You can actually change gears if you want to, shift up and shift down, or you can just leave it on automatic. You can press full stop and turn the indicators on. I'm not sure why, but you can. And then there's a whole lot more of options which are utterly boring, but let's get on with the fun bit. So press forward on the arrow key, and you'll see what I mean about the digital steering. It's not too bad in this car. Just floor it with the accelerator. Spin the camera around just a touch. There we go. So you can start to pick up a drift. Just flooring the accelerator, steering it in. Not too difficult in a pickup because it's, you know, quite heavy and suspension can cope with this kind of surface. But look what happens if I switch to something more interesting. So let's go with the Civetta Bolide. Whee! Okay, let's reset that. This is effectively a Ferrari, obviously. This is a crazy, crazy twitchy vehicle, particularly with the keyboard. It's almost impossible to control this thing, but you'll see what happens as I try. You see the back end just wants to kick out all the time, no matter how hard you turn into it. Obviously not made for this kind of track, but even when you take it on a flat surface, it's very hard to keep this thing pointing in the right direction. So there you go. Let's try a different some of the other tracks that they give you. So that's the cliff. That was a tumbling down the cliff. That was the dirt track. Then you've got this kind of rocky road island. You've got this really weird, just a pure flat grid. If you see what I mean by this, this is where you can just drive around on a flat surface and practice things like your J-turns and stuff. Let's change back to that twitchy one, the Civetta Ballade. Floor it. You see what I mean? Now I'm going to spin it round and hit the parking brake. So I'm going to turn into it, hit the brake, accelerate backwards. Even more interesting is when you do the kind of reverse J-turn. So you hit the reverse key, turn and brake, unbrake, and off you go. That's a bit easier to control. But you can see that the textures on the floor should be black skids, but they're just kind of strange orange textures. But there's also another option for the grid. You can pick up the grid with some interesting stuff to play with. It's got kind of ramps and bumpy bits. So if you go over the let's go over this bumpy thing here. You can see the suspension in this game just working overtime now. Look at that. Superb physics. Absolutely superb physics. Then we can pick up some speed and just go over a ramp and trash the car. So let's just go up this one. See, the front's already hanging off. Now the door's opened. You can have quite a bit of fun with this. Effectively, this is a tech demo. You can buy this thing, or you can just download the tech demo and play with it. I've actually chosen to buy it because I think it's got really interesting prospects. This is a weird thing over here. Shit. Right, let's just reset that thing. So choose another car, actually. As fun as the pickup is, this is a bit more fun. This is like the van out of Payday, the one that you pull all the heists out of. Really skiddy, really slippy. On, you know, it's like this heavy thing on an awful suspension. You can see bouncy bounce, not exactly made for this stuff. I mean, we can actually just... Oh, we're jammed. I was going to say we can actually just fall off there and trash the thing, but let's just reset it. Look at the exhaust. Look at that. Just every little component you can see is bendable, snappable, destructible, can fall off. Superb real physics. Yeah, this is a tech demo at the moment, but you just download the tech demo if you want and play with it. But it's actually quite cheap to buy because it's an alpha, so you can buy it now, which then supports the developers. And when the game releases, this is only alpha, but when it goes through beta and full release, it includes the full release. So it's quite cheap and probably worth a punt. This is more of a racetrack, so let's take the Ferrari out. And you'll see what I mean by twitchy. Very hard to keep this thing on this track now. You can see it pull to the left already. It's really weird. It's like you start accelerating and it immediately starts pulling left. Should we get inside the cockpit? Whoa. Didn't want to turn right then. Do you see the grass cam inside the car then? There we go. So now we're in full first-person mode. I'll try and handbrake turn around here. Hey! Whoa! Shit! Right, let's try the off. I find this is slightly better than the cockpit, but hang on, it won't turn right. Let's reset. I think it damaged the steering. I look forward to being able to try this on a steering wheel actually, because, or even just a joystick would be nice. Hopefully more people buy this game, they'll get some money and they'll be able to get some more developers, because I don't think 2's going to cut it. What they've done for 2 developers is actually quite impressive, but... Whoa! I challenge you to download the tech demo of this and play it with the keyboard. It is very, very twitchy, this car in particular. I think as you go through that start point there, I think it will actually start to track your time. So you could do little test tracks. And finally, let's go and have a look at the small island. And this is good fun. This is a kind of rugged... I'd say one problem I have spotted actually, if you end up in the water, you pretty much have to reset the whole map, because even when you reset the vehicle, it'll throw you back in the water. Crap. Now look at that. I bumped into the tree, and you see the whole chassis is bent. And now the thing's kind of bouncing around because the physics is wrong. The level of detail. Can you imagine if they put this kind of soft body physics into Euro Truck or... Oh! The water quarters. Let's reset the car. Now you'll see the problem. I'm trying to get out of the water. I'm full throttle right now and I'm stuck in the water, but if you go a bit further in you can't get out anymore. There we go. But even something like GTA, if they added this to GTA, it would make the game seriously impressive. It'd be fun to see where they're going to take this game. You know, whether they're going to take it to a full-blown multiplayer. But like I say, I love the idea of them putting trucks in this and then allowing people to race trucks head-to-head. Like a destruction derby in trucks. It would be just the most amazing thing. It's quite easy to smash your vehicle, I will say that much. Let's try a different one. Bizarrely, you can actually come in as a concrete barrier. Now, I'm not sure what the point of that is. Maybe when you go down that 60-degree hill, but nevertheless, you can do it. And then you've got your family sedan. Let's reset that. Now, this is another problem, look. Sometimes, when you reset the vehicle, it actually spawns you inside of another object. So just press Ctrl R, and but this looks distinctly like a Honda Civic, is it to me? Let's go down the beach. Try and get back on the road. It says Corvette on the back, which almost sounds like Corvette, but to me it looks like a Honda Civic out of GTA. There's a road. Right. There's a bit of a mountain up there, so we try and get on that. But yeah, soft body physics is the future, I think. I don't know what kind of graphics card you will need to play this game. I mean, obviously I've got quite a decent setup, but there's a lot of controls over the graphic options, so you should be able to at least tune it down so that you get a good frame rate. But I reckon what we're looking at here is the future of all driving sims. I dare say in a couple of years' time, pretty much every driving sim is going to have this kind of soft body physics in it. Because not only is it fun, but it's realistic. If you come off in your car, you're pretty much going to be out of the race. So yeah, the links to this thing are in the video description. This is a first look at it. I will explore the game more. I'm going to try and contact the developers as well and see what their plans are. They have got a blog, so you can see what they're up to. But I'm very interested in them having support for the joysticks and then the steering wheels. I mean, they can't, if there's only 2 guys, they're not going to be able to concentrate on everything, but... So I'm not doing so bad here. For a keyboard, this isn't so bad. Let's go up this bit. So we'll get hold of them and find out what they're doing with this thing. and I will definitely keep my eye on this as it updates, as it goes through beta and they start adding some more stuff. And I tell you, the moment they... Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tweet them. And I'm going to ask them to get trucks in here. They've got to make a truck. If they make a truck, I'm so going to buy some keys for this thing and give it away to you guys. Whoa, I think I've lost it. Yeah, we're sliding down the hill. Let's try a different vehicle maybe. One last go of the... that one. The Gavril H series. Let's take the van around here. Let's see what we can do to trash this thing off the end of the island. Anyway, like I say, the link's in the description, so feel free to go and download the tech demo, and if you like what you see, and I think you're for any kind of a driver, you probably will, I suggest you buy it now while it's nice and cheap, because this game is going places, I think. Oh my god, I can't even pick up enough speed to write this thing off. It's just bouncing around everywhere. Let's head over to that central thing. Straight through the bushes. It felt like the bush wasn't even there, to be honest. Small factory. No, the van's rubbish. I've decided I don't like the van. This is one of my favourites, the Grand Marshal, which seriously, if that's not a BMW 7 Series, I think it's got something like a 4.8 litre engine in it. Not that one. Control W brings up the what's the engine? 4.5 litre V8. And you can, of course, put sports wheels on it and some sports suspension, make it a bit tighter. But let's keep it like this, because you can get up some serious speed with this thing. Not surprising, really, in a 4.5 litre engine. There we go. Looks like the end of the island down there. I'm going to try and floor it. Oh dear, hit a bloody rock. Now I'm stuck on the rock. There we go. Who would drive this round this course, eh? If I had some analog control though, it might be a lot more fun. One slight twitch on the steering and it takes the back end straight out. There we go, we've got some speed going now. That's better, that's better. You know this is going to end badly. I think we're going in the water. No, we're going down the beach. Engine's working overtime. Anyway, this has been a first look at BeamNG. As you can see, it's just a tech demo. It lets you do all kinds of mad things at the moment. You can get stuck in the map. But I suggest go and check it out and possibly download and buy it if you feel like supporting it. Hope you enjoyed this quick look, and I will keep my eye on it. As soon as there's more features added, I'll make some more videos. That's it from me. Take care, guys. See you soon.